Hello everyone and welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching from in the world. We are here live with Race Club UK for another edition of Trax Tuesdays. We're here at the Red Bull Ring for round 3 in the Styrian Alps. Round 1 and 2 are in the bag. We've been to Laguna Seca and the home of British Grand Prix racing, Silverstone, and we have had multiple winners and some exciting racing, and we fully assume that to continue this evening. So up ahead we have I'll just pull down the schedule on the right hand side of the screen for you. So coming up we'll have a 10-minute qualifying session, followed by a twilight race, a 19-minute endurance race. There are no mandatory pit stops, of course, with Race Club UK this season, so it will be down to the drivers to decide if and when they would like to jump into the pits. So let's have a quick rundown on the season so far and who are the main championship contenders. We are of course split into 3 separate tiers. On the left hand side of your screen you'll see the driver list with, again, if you're not familiar with Race Club UK and how they're set up, or Assetto Corsa Competizione itself. The drivers on the left hand side with the white background to the number are in the Pro tier. The drivers with a silver background are in the Silver tier, funnily enough, and the drivers with the red background will be in the Am tier. So 3 separate championships running this evening. So in the Pro tier, Dan Clegg leads the championship with the first place. There he is there, the first place in Laguna Seca, and at Silverstone in our triple header he managed to finish first, third and fourth. Carl Sween is currently second, hot on his heels. Disappointing performance in the first round, finishing 7th, but managing second, fourth and first. In the triple header, Ethan Lovejoy is currently sitting in third, with Paul Alex and Richard Hall for the Piston Breakers team in 4th and 5th respectively. In the silver class, or the Pro-Am class, we have Chris Rowlands, who's currently winning that championship with a win in round 1 and a double win at the triple header. Matthias Metzger is sitting in second with Lee Watson third. Lofstrand manages to finish at P4th, James Jarnigan 5th, Michael Adano in P6. That's the top end of that championship. And in the AM class, Chris Dawes is currently leading that championship. Is he currently on the grid just now? He's not shown on the grid yet. We do have 10 minutes of practice, so potentially some time for him to join. Andrea Demi in second currently after winning race 1 and finishing 4th and 1st at the triple header at Silverstone last time out, and Mark Cedric currently leading the way for the Pell Honda team in the 140 car. He's currently sitting in 3rd. 7th in the first race, but a great recovery, a triple podium, second and second, all the 2s for Mr. Cedric. And that is how the top end of all these championships look just now. So if you have not joined us before, this is your first time watching Race Club UK, my name is Gogs Brown. I'll be in the commentary position for you for the rest of this race and indeed the rest of this season. The game is Assetto Corsa Competizione and we're on PlayStation 5, and it is cross-play, enabling Xbox and PlayStation users to race each other for the first time on this console. This is the first season we've had that here at Race Club UK. Also the first season we'll likely have seen the Red Bull Ring, one of the newer tracks to the game as well. So some of the drivers will be still getting familiar with the track layout. It is of course very popular in other racing platforms out there. So thank you very much if you are just joining us. We have got just over 8 minutes of free practice remaining, then we'll jump into our 10-minute qualifying session. Current order for free practice. Dan Clegg, the championship leader, is out in front, just coming across the line now. Can he improve, or is he potentially doing some long runs? That looks like a little improvement there, 128.3 flat. Let's have a quick look at the timetables as Clegg pulled off into the pits. So there are the top runners just now overall. Clegg leads the way in between Kraft and Barros. It's a very small gap indeed. Only 25 milliseconds separate the Lamborghini and the McLaren. Carl Sween currently sits in 4th, Evans 5th, Rampensberger 6th, Alex 7th, Hacker 8th, Gordon 9th, and Rollins, who has just joined the server, in P10. Pete Dalton makes his first race with us in Race Club UK this season. The man from down under has made his way to Austria. It's close enough to Australia, I suppose. Adenal in P12, Majitis in P13, Hall, Van Linter, Lofstrand, Hermsen, Cedric, Herman, Watson, Hutchins, Bird, Metzger, Gualtieri, I'll get there. Clark, Cook, Demi, Petiz, Simon, Hockley, Franciossi, Yarnigan. 32 drivers in the server this evening. That's a pretty good turnout, especially for one of the downloaded tracks. We'll jump back to some track speed action. We've got 6 minutes left for practice. Wonder if anyone is going to be going out there to try and set some qualifying lap time, some hot laps, see what they can do. Right now we're watching the TED Trax racing car. It is a good sign that we're actually watching them just now, as the TED Trax Racing is indeed, as you can see at the top left of the screen, the sponsor for this season. Race Club UK and TED Trax Racing partnering up over the next couple of months. TED Trax Racing, a non-for-profit organisation helping younger people get into the very elaborate world of motorsport through multiple different avenues. There is of course the traditional route. We look at karting, into touring cars, stock car racing, that type of thing. But as we can see, we're venturing out into the wonderful world of sim racing and esports. Was another one of those avenues for young drivers to get into motorsport without the risk and indeed without the expense of running a regular season. So we'll be following the TED Trax racing cars of Jack Kraft, and I think we've got another one in the silver class as well. We'll see as they jump. There we are, Tom Hockley in the number 29 car as well. Both of them running Lamborghinis, as Hockley moves up to 26th. It's tucked in behind that yellow and black BMW. Well, we've got 4 minutes left off this practice session around this fantastic track. Let's jump on with one of the TED Trax racing cars then and get ourselves a little guide off the track. This is the final corner. Come on to the start finish straight. Very steep incline into turn 1. They want to go way over the curbs. Pinpoint the braking zone. Do not touch the crosses curb on the inside. As the Lamborghini does, it gets very out of shape. So easy to run wide on the exit. That sausage curb on the exit as well. Up the straight, this is technically turn 2. I will not be calling it turn 2 for this race. This is turn 2. Uphill braking zone again. Sharp right-hander, and the exit is so important. rest the left-hand wheels on the yellow curb on the exit and put the right foot down and accelerate down the hill. Turn 3 is a early apex corner that opens up. You can go right over to the left-hand side, turn the car in, he's well over the curbs. He ran a little bit wide, slightly too much speed on the exit. Now we've got turn 4 and 5, the long sweeping corners, very tricky to get right. He's done that one particularly well. Controlled entrance into 5, turn 6 is an acceleration zone. Very easy of course to just run over that curve and get yourself a track limit warning. Final 2 corners on the circuit then, the fast right-hander. This is where the track limit penalties are going to be accumulated today. As long as you keep 2 tyres on the curbs, and again this ensures curb on the inside for the final turn and the track limit as well. Nothing more to do than to put the foot down, and Kraft crosses the line. He doesn't improve, but that is a lap off the Red Bull Ring. It's quite a flowing track. There's a lot of, first sector is a lot of brake, turn, accelerate. So straight line speed is going to be the order of the day. But the second sector, that final sector as well, requires a lot of downforce on the car. So it is a trade-off. Do you run the aerodynamics for top speed or do you run them for grip? That is something that all these drivers have spent the last hour trying to work out, and we're now here. Final stages of free practice. So I've just seen there a Lexus in the field. I'm taking very close attention. I've seen a lot more Lexus in the fields of multiple sim racing events actually in the past couple of months. They're making a comeback. They were many milliseconds off the pace, but as we can see here, they're within the lead second. Hello Mick in the chat, managing to find time to type on YouTube and drive his Honda around the Red Bull Ring. There he is. He's currently sitting in P13. There's Adano in the number 36 car. We'll keep an eye on how he gets on this evening. Couple of yellow flags showing on track when people are pushing hard for the last couple of laps. As Sween pulls over to the inside of turn 1, he has done his practice for the day. The Lexus, of course, continuing round. And you can, camera really takes away just how steep the gradient is. We are essentially racing on the side of an Alp this evening. I find it very strange that we're in Assetto Corsa Competizione and the Lexus has some Gran Turismo stickers on the front bumper, but the Lexus is now done for this evening, in practice anyway. Ben Godden currently running P10, a little bit off the pace the last couple of races, but remember the pace has been absolutely electric. And a couple of cars left still on track, 15 seconds of practice to go. Car number 9 I think is going to be the last one to get himself across the line. I think Bird's going to just miss it on the 103 car. Checkered flag is out, so Bird has taken the checkered flag. So this will be the last of the valid laps. Thank you very much if you have just joined us. This is Race Club UK's TED Trax Tuesdays series. We're here for round 3 at the Red Bull Ring. We have 10 minutes of qualifying just coming up, and then we'll be jumping on to the 90-minute race. No mandatory pit stops. It's up to the drivers to decide how they want to run this race. As Gordon comes across the line, cannot improve, and will be P10 at the end of practice. This is on board Jürgen Lofstrand in the number 9 BMW. Currently 1.25 off the pace. We'll be looking to find a little bit of time here, just finalising that setup. Maybe even just trying to work out exactly how much fuel he can maybe save as the Trax racing car takes a late dive into the pits. The BMW looks very in control coming round the final corner, and that is the end of the session.
Give it all you can.
We are now ready here for qualifying. Let's get us underway as Paul Alex manages to be the first car out of the pit lane, and he's followed very closely by the championship leader Dan Clegg. These two battled very, very hard in the first couple of races. Let's see if they can continue that one for qualifying. So Alex is out, Clegg is out, then we've got Jack Kraft in the Trax Lamborghini. The 96 car of Herman is tucked in behind them, and then we've got a sea of cars now leaving the pit lane. Yeah, they're all coming out now, so we are now ready to get underway. Look at the traffic here. It'll be difficult, with only 10 minutes of qualifying, it will be difficult for everyone to find the perfect opportunity to set a lap, make sure they're not caught in traffic. Look how tight it is coming around there. Saw a couple of cars at the sea. This is a good strategy potentially from Rollins. He's going to get himself a clean lap as these guys leaving the pit lane now as well. That could work in their favour as the first cars are coming round. It's Clegg who's taking the, I say lead, it's not really the lead, track position, and Paul Alex is tucked in second. He's got out just in front of the emerging cars from the pit lane as Paul Alex. 32 cars in the server for this evening. It will be 32 cars maximum as we await the first times, the first laps driven in anger. Simon, we've yet to see Simon show their potential. They were very quick last time out actually at Silverstone, challenging for the podium positions in all three races, and involved of course in the little bust up at the end of the third race. Herman potentially being held up a little bit here by Alex just in front. We've got a slow moving BMW, they need to be cautious. It does stay out of everyone's way around in the entrance into turn 4, thankfully. So car number 1's coming round the second to last corner now, and again kept two wheels on the red and white curb, so that will still be within the track limits. As Clegg comes across the line and will set the first time, he will not set the first time as he has been invalid. It's Paul Alex who sets a 1:29.5, and then we look on the left hand side, Kraft just goes into the provisional pole position. And on the left hand side we're going to see that driver tracker tumble. There will be drivers of course getting invalidated lap times round that final two corners. It's so easy just to run a little bit too wide and have that lap time deleted by the in-game stewards. So it's Hackers just went fast as 1:29.0 for Speed Gremlins Incorporated. Some of the further back cars as Hockley jumps into the pits. Wonder what's happened there. Maybe he's got the incorrect fuel load on potentially. I don't know. We've seen there in the chat room. He's now lapping. He's not set a valid lap yet, so we'll keep an eye on it. He does. Roland is going to come round that yellow and red Ferrari we've seen in the last couple of races. About to set his first time off the race. He goes into 4th overall, only half a second off the pace. That's a cracking time from the Ferrari driver. Dan Clegg's about to do his second bite off the cherry. What can he do? He moves roughly where we expected him to be, 1:28.4 provisional pole. Hall now comes across the line, moves up into P5. That's a good lap. Leafy Barros there in the Pink Panther car. We've seen the Pink Panther, of course, multiple times last time out. Kraft's just improved as he gets out of the way. He's not on a hot lap anymore. Kraft has just improved to go only 0.3 of a second off Clegg. What can Hacker do? He's in P4 just now. Doesn't improve, at least not on this occasion. Bit of a situation brewing for car number 51. We can't see who that is, unfortunately. Rampensberger's, two McLarens almost forcing each other over the line there. Roland's about to come round that corner again. 4 minutes and 14 seconds left off qualifying. Everyone will have between 2 to 3 more laps round the circuit. And Roland improves again, goes into P5 overall. He's first in class. Cedric continuing where he left off in AM class. Actually the leading Honda car. He might get himself a little tow down the straight with the Lexus. Two very difficult cars to drive side by side. Yellow flag showing for Hutchins at the exit of turn 1. This is on board with Cedric in the 140. He's currently leading AM class. Can he improve any further? He's 1.6 off the leader, but he is leading AM and nearly by about a second. Can he improve? He does improve ever so slightly. That's Metzger going to be jumping off the track. Couple more corners then for Margitas in the 21 Dutch Hellenic Racing. It says raging there, maybe is that, I don't know if it's a typo or supposed to say raging. But he is raging round the final corner. Up through the gears, where can he go? Up into P10. Exactly the same time as Lofstrand. Lofstrand, of course, setting the time first, so he will go first. Dalton nearly runs into the back of that slow moving McLaren. That was a close one. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left. Some drivers will be jumping into the pits. That was car 114 Jarnigan, moving very slowly on the start finish straight. Dalton narrowly avoiding Jarnigan. Jarnigan's parked up. They're at the chicane. Hope they're okay. Demi not able to improve on this lap. Some AM drivers yet to set a lap time. Jose Petit in the 22 Aston Martin rounding the final corner now. And across the line he has set a valid lap time. It's not moved him up any positions though. Carl Sween has jumped onto the track. This is the man who is second in the championship. The American's got one more corner to go. Looks like they're going to maybe setting 2 laps, potentially. They come across the line now, whereas Sween moved only into 16th overall. That's all she wrote for the American today. So he will be watching his race with great interest as he tries to cut through the field. Barros round the final corner now. He's only half a second off pole. Can he improve? Look at that top. Tom Hacker, 128.3, leads Clegg by 8 thousandths of a second. Hacker still lapping out there as well, as is Clegg. So keep an eye on the times at the top. Rampensberger, of course, within a 10th as well. It's not over, not by a long shot here in Austria. Hacker can't improve, not on this lap anyway. Rampensberger's kicking up the dust. Unlikely he'll improve on this lap. He might get one more chance. That remains to be seen. Francosi's now set a lap. Petit has set a lap. Gualtieri and Clark have not set a lap. Cook's still out there as well. We'll wait for Dan Clegg now to come round the final corner. This he is. He's got a car facing the wrong way on the exit there. That's 140. Clegg comes across the line. Can he improve? He doesn't. He's got another lap to go though. One more lap. Can he do it? Rampensberger's pushing hard again, kicking up the dust, using all of the available track. He's not able to improve either. Accidentally hit drive. We don't want to drive. Oh, wait, give me 2 seconds. We've lost controls again. Oh, come on. Happens back. Clegg's the only one still out there. They've all set their final lap times at the front. Evans, of course, still out there can improve. Ben Gordon only 5/10 of a second behind. Not able to improve either. Demi is in the pits, and Demi's thrown in the towel for this evening, for qualifying anyway. Adenal comes around the final corner. Does improve his time, but can't move up. Barros does improve it as well. He's exactly the same time as Clegg. Clegg's not able to improve. What a qualifying session, so tight up at the front. As we were really let down by the control system for the game there, losing all of our camera angles. Let's run through qualifying just now. We've gained control back now, about 40 seconds too late. As qualifying is just about to finish, as Rowlands comes back into the pit lane. So, in AM class, Cedric 0.07 seconds ahead of Cook, very close for pole position in AM. Demi is in third, Frank Yossi in fourth, Petit's fifth. Gualtieri and Clark did not set a time. In silver, Rowlands holds off Lovestrand and Margitis by exactly 1.5 of a second. Three drivers all setting 129.272. That is Jürgen Lovestrand, Jorge Margitis and Kevin Van Linter. I have no idea if that is the first name, but we're going to go with it. Pete Dalton is half a second further down in P5. Michael Adenauer 10th behind in 6th. Metzger 7th. Hockley is in P8. Herman 9th. Hutchins 10th. Watson 11th. And Jarnigan in 12th. Overall then on the grid, this is how it will line up. Tom Hacker will be in P1, taking pole position by a margin of 0.008 seconds from Dan Clegg. Barros in P3 doing exactly the same time as Clegg, but Clegg will take second by merit of doing the lap first. Rampensberger will go P4. It is worth noting they had the fastest final sector of anyone. And the clouds have come over for the race. Let's quickly run through the rest of the grid, but while we still have time. Rampensberger, the fastest final sector of anyone, still within 1/10 of a second of pole. Jack Kraft in the leading Ted Trax racing car in P5, 1/3 of a second off the pole time. Evans just behind him, again within less than 1/10 of a second off the car in front. Simon in the Porsche, P7, 1:28.795. Again, very, very close gaps here, very close laps indeed. Gordon P8, Hermsen P9 with the fastest first sector of anyone. So as you can see, it's so tight, any one of these guys can just put the lap together and suddenly that Lexus looking very, very quick in the first sector. Rowlands leads silver and will start P10 on track. Paul Alex 11th, Hall 12th, Jürgen Lofstrand 13th, Again, exact same time as Bargitas and Van Linter, as we said there. Carl Sween down in 16th. 1 second separates the top 15. Very, very close indeed. Dalton 17th, Adenau 18th, Bird 19th, Metzger rounds off the top 20. Hockley is in 21st, Herman 22nd, Cedric leads AM-Class in 23rd on track. Hutchins 24th, Cook 25th, Watson 26th, Yarnigan 27th, Demi 28th, Frank Yossi 29th, Jose Pertiz in 30th, Gualtieri 31st, and Clark 32nd from the back. So as we wait, Hacker about to get us underway, and he moves us off now. I'm going to take a quick 20-second comfort break and get myself a quick drink. Do not go anywhere, I'll be right back. Hello everyone, thank you very much for your patience waiting there. We are about to get ourselves underway. Jose Pertiz is electing to start from the pit lane, that's what we can tell you. As we see the leaders take us up to the third turn, we can see the sky has gotten very, very overcast looking. Night is about to fall here as well at the Styrian Alps. Rusty saying sorry, could not make tonight. Unfortunate. Of course, it is of course you that is missing out. No need to apologise. Hope you enjoy what we're bringing you this evening. Do not go anywhere. Do stick with us and do engage with us on the chat, the YouTube chat here at Race Club UK. Very short formation lap, of course. In-game time is 8 PM. What's the schedule there? Yeah, 8 PM indeed. So this will be going on now until about 9:30. So we might see darkness overcome the track as we get ready. As the cars will now, Hacker will now need to bunch the cars up. Hacker in the green and gold McLaren. Clegg is going to be in the green and black BMW. Barros in the Pink Panther with Rampensberger in the burnt orange and green car behind. Row 3 sees Kraft and Evans as they now approach the start-finish line, and we await the green flag to get us racing here for round 3. Ted Trax Tuesdays, Race Club UK.
Green light.
And we are green. We are underway. We've got a drive through for Paul Alex on the piston breakers. Clegg's on the inside. He thinks about down the inside. He does hold off. Barros tries to swing round the inside. Who's came off on top? Lots of cars running wide in the background. But it looks like number 19's been facing the wrong way as Barros and Clegg get a slipstream. He's been towed up the hill as the driver trackers completely ruined that battle for us. We'll try and catch up with it. Hacker is now being pressured by Clegg. Clegg's on the inside. This is where you want to be for making a move into turn 3. Does he think about the dive bomb? He does get late on the brakes. He's alongside. This is essentially the move for the race. He leaves room, but Hacker's been pushed wide, and that's opened the door for Barros. Barros now sneaks through the inside. off Hacker, and that is him up to P2. Clegg leads. Bauer second, Hacker third, Rampensberger fourth, Kraft in fifth, with Evans in leading that pack. A little bit on his own there. Will Alex take that drive-through penalty at the start? Rampensberger's now alongside and makes the clean move. Hackers went from pole position down into P4. It is a long race. He does have the full race ahead of him, and car number 11, that is Paul Alex, takes to the pits. The Swede gets very sideways on the exit of the final corner. Look at these cars bunched up together as they cross the start-finish line for the first time. Everyone looks to be behaving immaculately. Yeah, I can't say that one. Try and say that one very fast. Drunk. Big battle going on here as we come on board. Watson, the gold McLaren backs out of it. He's getting a slipstream. He pulls out alongside. He's down the inside is Watson, and he's completed that move. A little bit of a nudge from the Porsche. That's Herman. Giving a little bit of gentle encouragement out of turn 2. Up front then. Clegg leads, Barros leads, Rampensberger, Hacker 4th, Kraft 5th, Evans, Godin, Hermsen, Rollins, Lofstrand make up the top 10. Amazing camera shot, that one. The cars come flying over the curbs. A little bit of a gap now appearing between Rollins and Lofstrand. The race moving into almost like a two-field race, as we've only got 2 laps underway. Barros looks to have an incredible exit out of that final corner. The BMW's top end speed just leaves Clegg in front, and these two are now opening a small gap to Rampensberger, who is 1.8 further back. Nothing doing this time around. Move going on there potentially as Godin down the inside off the very fast charging Lexus into turn 2. And that Porsche just off track there with the Mustang going down the inside. White and yellow McLaren returning to the track. Simon down in 26th place. The pro driver having to work his way through the field. Contact there in the car number 79. Being forced wide. A little nudge potentially, as Simon's still on the back of this Mustang as he tries to make his way through the field. Absolute carnage there. Watson was shown as 0.004 gap, but it looks to be a bit more than that now. A little bit further back we have got Margitas bouncing over the gravel, playing in the sand. Hall, this is Hall, he's on the back of Jürgen Lofstrand. We've got Dalton and then Carl Sween in the 13th place, that Grello Porsche. This one looks like it might develop into something. The Lofstrand and the blue BMW up front doesn't go defensive. That leaves the door open, but Hall thinks better of it. He'll look to get a better exit out of 2. Down the long back straight, the downhill section, but it looks like Lofstrand has just danced away from him at the front. Speaking from dancing away at front, Clegg is now nearly a second ahead of Barros. That initial onslaught by the Pink Panther McLaren has not been sustained. Interesting though, it is McLaren's 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 6th in this race. McLaren must be a very good car, favourable car to be driving around this circuit. This is the onboard shot from Hall. You can see just that BMW, there's so much torque on corner exit. It's so hard, such a very hard car to overtake. Ferrari runs a little bit wide. That's going to maybe open the door behind for Dalton. Dalton's a little bit too far back, unfortunately, on this occasion. Now, I've seen this before. Carl Sween, not looking to be the quickest on track, and I've experienced this myself while driving against him. Potentially saving a bit of fuel, saving a bit of tyres, hoping to no-stop this 90-minute race. But that strategy has just gone out the window, because on the top right off the screen, if you just divert your eyes to there, you will see in 15 minutes the rain is forecast to come down. And for those unfamiliar with Assetto Corsa Competizione, that rain cloud's got 4 bars of rain. That is a wet track. We are going to see a wet track tonight. So, mixed conditions, Red Bull Ring, dusk. These are all the ingredients needed to set up the perfect race. Do not go anywhere. This one's about to spice up. This is a little bit further back. This is the battle for silver class. In the mid-pack, actually, we've got Jarnigan in the Lexus leading Adano. Adano applying the pressure. Then we've got Metzger, Hutchings and Margitis all closely close pace. Then we've got Metzger there alongside Adano. Adano had a mistake there coming out of the final turn. He's been pushed almost through turn 1 by Hutchings in the all-white McLaren. Adano really struggling. Two McLarens now battling side by side as well, so everyone needs to be careful. That McLaren looks like it's going down the inside. The NSX brakes very late, and the Go McLaren tries to go around the outside, and they touch. He's been pushed onto the Leclerc line. I'll be interested to see if that position is given back or not, but it is alongside each other into turn 3. Dust again being kicked up, so white McLaren's got the inside line, and there's more contact there as the gold McLaren of Margitis is pushed onto the sand. They won't be building many sand castles out there. A little bit further up, we've got Lofstrand, Hall, Dalton and Sween, and now these guys are being caught by Van Linter. This little pack of cars as they come on to start their 8th lap. We're 8 laps in already. So 7th lap, my apologies. Sween on the back of Dalton behind, trying some alternate lines, just trying to find his way past as the Porsche driver. Rampensberger's now pushed right up to the back. This is on board Rampensberger. You can see the gap now. He's really closed up to the back of Hacker. Only 1/10 of a second in the last sector. That's more than a tenth now, but it looks tight, doesn't it? Clegg's danced off a little bit in front now. He's away. He's 2.7 at the last time in school. He's 2.9 now. So gaining a couple of tenths of a second, half a second every lap, just edging the gap out to Barros. So Clegg leads, Barros second, Hacker third, Rampensberger is in P4, Kraft in the Trax racing car 5th, Evans is in 6th, Godden is in 7th, Herms in 8th, Rowlands leading silver class in P9, and Lofstrand second in P10. Looks like they're actually Lofstrand has been taken by Hall. Hall is taking the 10th place, and Lofstrand now and down into P11 and under pressure from his in-class rival Dalton. If we look back the way, we're going to see potentially here, Sween moves out to the inside. And that's Dalton's left the door open. And he's managed to get a better exit, and that's left Sween some breathing room. But look at the battle just in front of this lot. Lofstrand attacking Hall back. Not able to do anything with it, unfortunately, on this occasion. But these four are looking very closely matched in pace. And that's a great move by Sweeney. He's round the outside of Dalton. Can he make that one stick? He's still on the outside. They're side by side going round two of the hardest corners on the track to overtake, but he's made it work. That's a cracking move by Carl Sween. He's up into P12. And Dalton needs to be very careful he doesn't lose another position to the driver behind. Dalton tries to get himself a little bit of a, call that a tactical track cut. Just in front of Rollins now looks like he's under pressure as they all get very close to touching, almost pushing each other round the first corner. To come up the long run up to turn 2, they're side by side, they're going 2 by 2 by 2, it's like the arc. Rollins is on the inside, he tries to hold position, he leaves room, but that's, I think, going to be Hall that takes that position. They're still all side by side. This is it almost looks like a procession, but it's not. They are battling so hard. Let's just watch. See what happens. And we've got Lofstrand wide, and the red BMW also running wide. That releases Sween and Dalton. But these two up front, and there's contact. Rollins is pushed wide, and that's allowed Sween through. And that's putting Roland under pressure now from Dalton, who tries to sneak up the inside of turn 6. And he does. The Australian's now back up another position. He's still in P12. He's not technically lost any positions net. But Sween moves off. Up ahead, and Rollins looks like he might be struggling now. Maybe that little touch has impacted the aerodynamics of his car, because there goes Jürgen Lofstrand almost driving around Rollins as if he wasn't even there. As the BMW gets very close, that is Van Linter getting very close to his rear end. A little bit further back, we've got an all BMW battle brewing with Watson and Bird. Now, only half a second separate these two. Watson goes slightly conservative into turn 2. That's going to compromise his exit speed. As he's now on board with Bird, and we can see the toe down that back straight, getting closer and closer. Thinks about a move on the inside. He's almost like he's leaving himself and out in case all goes horribly wrong. But status quo as they continue on. The next driver for Carl Sween to try and sneak past is Hall, Ricky Hall, for the Piston Breakers. He's currently running P. Now this is the battle for 9th. Just behind we've got the battle for 11th as well. As Dalton runs wide just as we say that. Runs wide twice, and that's going to maybe incur the wrath of the stewards. We'll see if he gets away with too many of those. I don't think he will. A little bit further back, Jarnagin makes contact. There's Hutchins and Jarnagin. And it is Jarnagin who is now facing the wrong way. The Lexus driver needs to be careful with his rejoin. He looks like he's got through rejoined relatively safely anyway. Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Lexus. Now we've got the two Honda drivers, the two Pearl Honda drivers. We've got flashing, extreme flashing by Cook behind. He's not happy. Whatever's going on, he's very distressed by that. As Adnall looks to either defend or move out of the way. I'm not quite sure which one it is. It looks like a defence at this point in time. He's left room, but Cook is going to drive on through out of there, out of turn 2, and take the position. Come very close to touching there. But Cedric is the one who's now lost a position. He's not really lost. This is the battle for the lead in AM actually, so he has lost first place in class. As Cook moves up to lead the AM class, we'll see if Cedric can hold on. 5 minutes. We are expecting rain, and we are expecting the rain to really come down. In 15 minutes, we're absolutely going to get a downpour. We are going to see drivers on the wets. Carl Sween has moved up a position. He is now up into P9. Good position to be in just for when the rain is about to fall. Dalton still leads Silver. He's got Lofstrand on his rear end. We've got a yellow flag showing for car 140. That is the Honda of Cedric. He's spun. He is desperately trying to get himself to when the rain falls. Is he going to lose another position? Frank Yossi going to go past in the McLaren as well. The front of that Honda looks like it has taken a bite out of his good friend Mr. Barry R. He's struggling. So it does look like night is beginning to fall. Temperatures are going to drop, and speaking of things dropping, we are now imminently expecting rain. There will be absolutely no driving over the curbs like that in about 15 minutes time. That is an absolute promise. We've got yellow flags out. Car number 36 at the top of the track has spun facing the wrong way. Car number 36, that is Michael Adenel, the other Honda, was off track. What's happened to the Hondas? They've just completely disintegrated round about the 20-minute mark. A tasty little battle developing here. This is for silver class. This is Rollins. He's under difficulty as Rollins. He's now being pressured, and alongside comes Herman, and there's almost touching into turn 2. Herman's got the inside line. The Ferrari looks to try and maximise exit speed, but the Porsche's traction is going to absolutely help him. We look backwards, we see the Ferrari of Rollins. I think that's a move is a done deal. That's a great move up the order from Herman. We're really expecting a massive downpour now. It's imminent, it's coming. Car 140 is showing us in the pits. That is Cedric. He's had enough. Is he going to put the wets on? Is he going to try and get a jump over the field and jump onto the wet tyre? Only time will tell. Do not go anywhere. If you've just joined us here with Race Club UK, this is Ted Trax Tuesdays round 3. We're 20 minutes into this race. We've got action up and down the field. Hacker does start on pole. He moved down to 4th at the end of the first lap. He's back up into 3rd. But we are 5 minutes out from an absolute torrential rain shower on the side of the Alp that is the Red Bull Ring. Close battle appearing here. This is that battle we spoke about earlier on. We've got Metzger, Rollins, and we've got Simon in the Porsche. It's looking very tasty. There's almost 3 wide into turn 2, and they all get through without making contact. That's incredible. That's like synchronised driving. That's incredible. And now they touch. Of course, now they touch in the straight line. Need to be cautious with that one, because every little nudge has a potential to damage bodywork. And 3 into 1 finally do not go. Roland goes through. Can Simon make his way through? He's definitely trying. He's not going to let it go. The BMW's got the inside line. We've seen Carl Sween swing around the outside. Can his teammate do it? Looks like the BMW has lost traction, and that is allowed Roland and Simon through. So let's have a quick rundown of the classes then. What have we got in the race? Dan Clegg still out front. He's lapping as they've got some windscreen wipers on. That means the rain has finally fallen, and we can see the raindrops on the leader's screen. He's at the top of the hill, so he's probably going to be the first driver to be impacted by it. But Clegg is now dealing with the rain, and I can promise you this is now where the mistakes are going to come. Keep your eye on the driver tracker down the bottom, because we've got a yellow flag out already. That's Roland's and a white McLaren that is off track. They have been caught out by the rain on exit. It's very slidey out there at the best of times. Keep an eye on the driver tracker on the bottom right, and you will see some yellow flags, yellow dots appearing. That means the driver has stopped on track. A white dot means they're moving slowly. As the rain now begins to fall, and they're now waiting the first couple of drivers to jump into the pits, who decide, nope, that is enough, I am going in. And they are, they're already going in. Dan Clegg, Barros have all jumped in. We've got cars battling still. Hacker has stayed there, as is Rampensberger, but Clegg and Barros have jumped in the pits. Car number 88, that's Hermsen, also jumps into the pits. Of course, they'll need to get the car slowed down safely. They could face a drive-through penalty if they're speeding in the pit lane, as Lofstrand looks like he's hit the wall actually on the way into the pit lane. As Lofstrand now joins the pits. Who else is coming in a little bit further down? We've got car number 99, that's Hutchins, who I think we've seen spin earlier on, and we have car number 14, that's Roland as well, taking this opportunity to repair their damage and tyres. Double check the battle then up front, because this is now the battle technically for the lead. We don't know if the leaders have pitted at the correct time, but Clegg is going to rejoin, and pretty much wide open traffic as the rain begins to fall. The track is now greasy, and it's going to get heavier for the next 5 minutes, and then the rain is going to begin to ease off. So this track will transition from, we've got a one stop go there, that's car number 88, that is the Lexus of Hermsen. So they did receive their stop go, and Jose Petit as well in the Aston Martin. The leaders now coming round to jump into the pits. That's Rampensberger and Hacker. Evans also into the pits. Ben Godden staying out. He set the server up. Maybe he knows something they don't. Maybe he's gambling, who knows. Carl Sween stays out as well. The track is damp and the rain's only going to keep getting heavier. They're gambling, of course, on something happening. But the driver we really want to watch is Dan Clegg. Has he got round the track? Okay. He's been followed by Clark. Barros is multiple seconds behind. Has something happened to Barros, maybe? Maybe struggling to get that McLaren to do what he wants it to do in the wet. Clegg now comes round the final corner. I think he's going to retain that position. Nobody is moving out of the pits just yet. This rain is expected to stop now in 15 minutes, so we're getting a full transition from dry to wet. And the question is, will the track dry up fast enough at night? We can already see the spray beginning to kick up on this damp track. Dan Clegg, we've got another, is that another drive-through? No, we don't have another drive-through, that's the drivers going through the pits. So Ben Godden leads. Carl Sween's only 10 seconds behind, but is he now going to jump into the pits? Kraft being overtaken there by a BMW. That's a Lexus going past Hermsen, who has the drive-through penalty. That Trax racing car almost at braking itself. The Lexus had a spin, facing the wrong way on the exit of turn 2. Another 3-car battle, and this is what we're saying. As it gets wet, the mistakes come out. So Ben Godden and Carl Sween elected to continue. That's interesting. The track's still only damp. And maybe these guys electing to try their very best to stay out, endure the storm, and then reap the rewards as the track begins to dry out again and not have to make that pit stop. It's a risky move, but Clegg, he's all the way back there. If the track dries out and he has to pit again, well, that might look to be the sweetest strategy of all. And we've got a car facing the middle of this. Adenauer spins and Lofstrand helps him round. Adenauer is now facing the wrong way. Can he keep the car going? He has kept it going. He'll need to rejoin in a safe manner as well, as he rejoins almost directly into the path of Metzger. Now we've got Paul Alex coming through as well. Can he take advantage of Metzger having to react? He can. He's through. Metzger's on the curb as well. Need to avoid those curbs. Painful for the... Listen to the leader coming through. This is Ben Godden, who's leading the race. Found himself up front. Car 140 is now facing the wrong way. That is Cedric, the other Honda, who spun on the way. I'm going to say in the way into the pit lane. Nope, he's not into the pit lane. He's rejoined the track and he gets out of the way of the cars coming through. That's good driving, good awareness from the Honda driver there. So Sween's managed to navigate the first Honda. Sorry, that's Godden's navigated the first Honda. Sween's still lapping out there. Dalton's decided it's too much. He needs to come in to the pits. He'll jump into the pits on this lap. Simon is staying out as well. And Clegg. Has Clegg put on a set of wets? Is it the best choice? We've still got the worst of the rain to come. So the guys on the wet, it's Hacker. Hacker's down in P10 and back in the pits again. Car number 90 also spinning on the way out of the final corner. That's Evans. Evans down to P13 as well. It's all kicking off here. Race Club UK, TED Trax Tuesdays. Speaking of TED Trax Tuesdays, we've got a TED Trax Racing Lamborghini. That's not Kraft, that's the other one. That is Hockley going past Sween. Sween accepting maybe that his car will not be the quickest right now. Car number 90 spun on exit of turn 1. That was Evans again. He's now ported it back to the pit lane. So this is interesting. This is going to feel torturous for Sween, but in 5 minutes pit time we are expecting the rain to ease off, and in 15 minutes time we're expecting no rain at all. Look how fast that white McLaren is braking compared to the Ferrari. I think Sween and Hall may be on similar strategies here. Jarnigan is showing he's right behind Rampensberger. I don't think he is that close. But Rampensberger is absolutely flying out there now. He's got about 1 length off the start finish straight gap to Clegg, and Clegg is closing in now on these leaders. Car number 88, that's Herman's cleared the stop-go penalty, so he's good to rejoin now. And back to racing in net position. Kraft has just got himself round car number 8. He's running P9. So Godden leads, Sween second, Hall third, Simon fourth, Clegg fifth, Rampensberger sixth, Jarnigan seventh, Barros in P8, Kraft is in ninth with Clark rounding out the top 10. Shout out to Jarnigan and Clark for leading their respective classes as well. Car number 36 is off in the middle section. That's Michael Adenal again with a flappy front bonnet. That car has taken a big bite out of some metal barrier, it looks like. And Barros behind, being held up potentially. Or is that for position? We'll never know. It is for position because just Jarnigan in front. For position overall, not position in their respective championships. So Barros will be screaming in frustration. He does of course have no right to be in front. He'll need to make that move work as Petit tries to get out of the way as well. Look how wet it is offline. The rain really has come down. It'd be a good move to get the move done on the wetter part of the track, but it looks like he's made it. Can he get it slowed down in time? He has. He's all over the curve. We need to be cautious on the exit, and we've seen what the Lexus does in a straight line, so we'll see if he's able to keep that position. Yep, that's a done move. Up front then, Ben Godin is still out there as he comes round to start his 22nd lap now. He leads Sween by 13 seconds. And 27 seconds to Simon. It really is struggling. He's still out there on the slicks. And you can see him struggling there. So this is the situation if you've just joined us. The heavens have opened, the track is soaking wet. The race started dry. Most of the field has pitted, but the top four did not. They're still out there on slick tyres, hoping to weather the storm and make it through to the track dries up again, and they'll be able to not complete a pit stop. And of course, if everyone's jumped onto the wet tyre, they'll need to pit again for the dry tyre. So a sudden burst rain shower has thrown round 3 of Ted Trax Tuesdays into disarray. Who will come out on top? Do not go anywhere if you want to find that answer to that question out. You've got to feel it for Tom Hacker. He started on pole position. He's now running in P23. It's not went well. This is Clark. He's got Watson now bearing down on him. This Mustang, the Mustang won't be enjoying these conditions too well. Look at the rain. Jump on board with Watson, he gets the spray as well. Conditions look awful to drive in. He's braking on the curb, that's a brave move, but the Mustang is understeered wide, and that's allowed Watson through. He'll move up a position. Silver is Jarnigan, Dalton, and then Watson now after that move. So Watson up into a podium position. Paul Alex on the back of Herman as the Porsche looks to struggle to get turned in. Clegg's got himself in front of Simon, so Clegg making his way through the field. He's only got another 5 to 10 minutes to make these wet tyres work for him, and he's going to have some challenge now to come through the field. As the Porsche he's either moved out of the way or oversteered out of the way. Either way, Paul Alex moves up through a position. Next up the road is Jürgen Lofstrand. Time on board very difficult to keep track of this evening. Clark leads the AM class. A close battle going on just behind him. That looks like this is all for position as Lofstrand runs right. Baptiste moves out of the way, and that is Alex making 2 positions up in quick succession. Next up the road is still Lofstrand for Alex. Clark still leads the AM class. Jarnigan leads Dalton and Watson in the Pro class. Mark Bird has came on the chat now to tell us he's been disconnected. We're down now to 27 drivers remaining, so a couple of DNFs this evening. A bit more space on track for those of us who are still here. It is sad to hear that is unfortunately the case. Bird, we do hope to see you back, of course, for the coming rounds. Hopefully you can get back in the server this evening and continue racing. If you don't, hopefully you can stick with us and see out this thrilling climax. What is going to happen? We have still got the wet track. It's still raining heavily. Clegg is now on the back of Hall. This is the onboard. Clegg did pit for the wets. See the difference in speed as Hall was struggling to get those slick tyres, and he's left a gap, and that's Clegg made the move. He leaves space. Need to be careful around the outside of a driver. We're slicks in this contact. He's spun Clegg around. He's hit the wall. That's going to damage his chances and very likely Hall's chances of a podium as well, because that one will absolutely be visited by the stewards later on. Lofstrand's now lapping the Honda of Michael Adenau. He needs to be careful because he's got a Flying Eagles Porsche tucked right under his rear wing for position. You have to wonder there, has Hall potentially taken one for the team there? Not to stir up any drama, but it's very possible that may have been the case. Regardless, it looks like he's now let Clegg go. Maybe it wasn't intentional. Hope he didn't take too much offence to that one. But he has now been swallowed by the cars behind him. As the rain begins to ease off now, Barros looks very racy behind the Ferrari. I do like it when we get some really colourful looking liveries, because it means it's easy to see the drivers in the dark. Easy to catch the differences. It's very difficult, of course, to gauge just how wet it is without actually being out there driving. Dalton is now under pressure. What's happened there? Dalton was under pressure from Watson. Dalton's applying the pressure to Jarnigan. Jarnigan's lost out actually. Dalton's through. Jarnigan's lost a position both to Dalton. And that is the yellow Ferrari of Rollins. And Rollins is a lap down. Has he maybe unlapped himself? You are allowed to unlap yourself. But you also can't push the lap cars out of the way. Clegg's now up into third. He's got past Rampensberger. The rain has stopped him here. Let's get a driver that's in some clear air and we'll be able to check if that is the case. There doesn't look to be any dots on Kraft's windshield. And his wipers are off, so the rain has stopped. The rain has indeed stopped. Car number 9 is showing his yellow flag. That's Jorgen Lofstrand to the massive smash coming out of the final corner, or the second to last corner. He's not in the pits to repair the damage. Whoa! He may be in there for quite some time. So Lofstrand was battling in that sort of pack in the middle there, in the middle of the track. So We'll need to see what happens. Carl Sween's closed the gap to 8 seconds. Yellow flags, car number 22 on the start-finish straight. Who is that? Double 2 is Jose Petiz. He's facing the wrong way. He's chewing the barrier. As some of the cars come round that corner. Tom Hacker's going to be next to come round. Hopefully he can avoid any potential incident. He does. It's a good driving. Frank Chiose, of course, being lapped just now. Aggressive flashing by Paul Alex behind. He does indeed let the Aston go through the corner. Not the safest place to let someone through, but they've got through relatively well, as we see Jarnigan battling that Lexus, almost drifting through the final corner. As we're now entering the stage where the track is still wet. It's no longer raining. It's 20 degrees outside, so it's not cold. But will the cars be able to dry the track up? Clegg, I believe, is on the wets, as is Rampensberger and Barros. Simon, Sween and Godin are out there not on wets. They're on slicks. They're on the tyres they started the race on. Now, if the track can dry up, they're going to find themselves in a very, very good position. The Sween now is in it. This is the situation we're looking to see. Now, this isn't going to be a big battle. Sween will not let him pass easily, that is for sure, but it might not be his choice because no traction coming out of turn 1 as Clegg just drives clean round the outside of him. And Sween will have to brake so much earlier than the BMW to get the car slowed down. Clegg moves up into second on track. It's a 1-2 for Bet GT3 Team Slap Sabuir. Sure, that's meant to say Saubier, but that's fine, we'll get that right next time. Paul Alex takes another position. So there's battle back through the field. So who's out there just now that's causing fun? Who's making waves? It is Carl Sween. He's got that looks like one of the Team Peregrine cars. The Sween's way over the track limit line there. Might get away with that actually, now that it's raining. Or a wet track. The stewards might be a little bit more lenient with the old track limits. So let's have a look throughout the field then. Who is still out there? Who is battling hard and not getting the recognition they deserve? Demi is up into P16 now. He's now got Dan Clegg behind him as well. And a car he's battling for position in front. Clegg's very quick in letting him know. Very quick letting him know he's about to be lapped as he come into the halfway point. We're halfway through. As he lets him go. Space given. Not too much given by Clegg. That looked a bit aggressive on the way through. But no contact either way. No harm done. This is Rollins. He's just got past the Aston Martin of Jose Petiz. Rollins of course pitting earlier on to repair that damage. So interesting situation here. This is now Sween with Rampensberger, who also pitted down the inside of the second to last corner. It's the 103 car of Bird who has rejoined the race. That's always great to see. Bird rejoined from having the disconnection and still out there lapping, getting the laps in, and of course he'll take home championship points. Question is he on the right tyre or has he copied Sween? In hope of getting through as the cloud is going to break up as well. That's potentially going to clean this track up, dry the track up a lot more. Clark's in the pits. Has Clark decided that is enough? Or has his tyres decided that's enough? And is he going to put in a fresh set of slicks now to see him through to the end of the race? Such an interesting one, isn't it? This one, how is it going to unfold? Will the wet tyres hold on? So let's have a quick rundown then. Ben Godden in first. Dan Clegg second, a 1-2 for that team. Rampensberger's third, Carl Sween fourth. Simon fifth, the same team there, fourth and fifth. Jack Kraft for Trax Racing in P6. Pete Dalton leading silver is 7th on track, with Watson tucked in behind in P8. Paul Alex is in 9th with Yarnigan P10. Then we have Herman, Metzger, Hockley, Hall, and Demi leads AM class from Gualtieri. Barros down there in P17. Look, it's Barros we've seen there having an incident with Lofstrand. Hackers also down in P18, disappointing for them. Franciosi P19, Rollins 20th, Clark 21st, Hutchins 22nd. There's Lofstrand 23rd. Cedric 24th, alongside his teammate in 25th. Bird rejoined the server, great to see of course, and Pitties down in P27. Yellow flags showing for car 140, that is Cedric, who has seen many parts of the Red Bull Ring we don't normally get to see when you come here this evening. Don't think the grass cuts very well when it's wet, unfortunately. This is the battle for the lead as Clegg's going to go through and take first place. The question is, for how long? As the track will slowly come back towards the drivers on the dry tyre now. Gordon's jumped into the pits. So what's that about? If his tyres thinking they've had enough, he's going to go in, maybe take some under pressured wets. Or maybe he's going to go the other way with it. Who knows? Either way, Clegg now leads from Rampensberger, from Gordon's in the pits. Simon's going to go through, I think. What's happened to Sween? Sween's been in the pits as well. Simon that comes into the pits, he needs to get the car slowed down in time. Looks like he did. Sween's been in the pits, so what will happen there? He's back down in P10. We'll keep an eye on that one, not too sure what's happened there. Dalton's running a fantastic race now, up into P6. I don't think Dalton's yet to pit either. Rampensberger making his way through the traffic. All the leaders have just done so. The traffic, of course, not moving for him as the Ferrari is a four-wheel drift. Going around turn 6, very slow moving. Aston Martin nearly gets in the way, he moves off the line to let the drivers through. That looks like a much safer way to do it, but I don't think, maybe there's a little bit of a miscommunication between them. This is Tom Hockley, and he is now. Ben Goddins came out just in the front. That's Metzger just in front. Goddins just behind this little battle. Ben Goddins actually lost the position. He was running in P10 earlier on, before the rounds of pit stops. Is Metzger going through, I think. Hockley battles back on exit. He's alongside. Into turn 5, they're side by side. It's so easy to make a mistake when you're racing like that. The track is of course damp. The Lamborghini dances over the curbs. The BMW hugs the apex like it's its favourite granny, and that's meant he has taken the position. Another one up there from Metzger. Dalton's finally caved, as has Kraft. They're both now in the pits. And so that means Watson has been released. He'll now take the lead of the race. Yellow flags out. Car number 99. That's Hutchings. Hutchings has been off track here at this very damp Red Bull Ring circuit. Caused absolute carnage. The downpour. We've got 20 minutes into this 90-minute race. We've got just under 40 minutes remaining. Dan Clegg in a familiar position leads, but is on the wet tyre. If this track dries up, he may have to pit again. He's got a 5-second lead from Vampensberger, who is also on the wet tyre. I believe Watson and Herman are as well. This is all, of course, speculative. We've got cars running wide at the hairpin. That's car number 71. Or 79, sorry, that's Frank Posey. Off track at the hairpin, turn 2. He's probably just moving out the way, actually, it looks like. He's trying to keep himself out of trouble and get to the end of this challenging race. Clegg's having to navigate some back markers here. That looks like Dalton, which highlights just the pace that Clegg has been pushing throughout this race. He's lapped I think Dalton was leading the silver class for quite some time, as Adenel tries to get into the pits, but has been lapped at the same time. Nearly a massive accident there, so that's Adenel trying to the pits, and Watson as well. Watson's in the pit lane. Close battle here as number 14 car Roland is trying to unlap himself. Hockley says nope and continues on his chase of Metzger. Piston Breakers cars running very close on track, but it's hauled on the back now off the AM class leader. What a race from Demi. As the race soldiers on, it's gotten just a little bit cooler. 19 degrees now there as the BMW comes into the pits. Metzger now jumps in, and the question is, what are these guys doing with their tyres? Sween is absolutely flying out there just now. He's now back up into P5 after that late pit stop. Car number 51 ahead, that's Rampensberger. Looks like just came out of the pits as well, so Sween's just only a couple of seconds behind Rampensberger's. Clegg jumps into the pits now. Car number 22 on the back straight, that's Petit is parked up. He gets moving now. Yarn again Rampensberger and Sween all coming alongside Patisse now. Patisse keeps it out of the way. Good driving. Clegg's in the pits there. Where are these guys going to come out in relation to Clegg? Have they done enough? I don't think they have. I think Clegg's going to retain that position. As Sween looks to have got in front of Rampensberger. Rampensberger's facing the wrong way. What's happened? He's in the wall. He's lost control of the McLaren and taken himself into the wall. He's going to rejoin behind Gordon, and that is Roland's going through. So he's now ahead of Dalton. So a stop-go penalty being applied. We'll come and check on that in a second, because Clegg has rejoined the race. He's came out the pit lane now. So Clegg has retained. Sween has somehow got himself up into a net P2. And Ben Gordon with that incredible stint has got himself into a net third. Jarnigan and Hockley first and second in silver. And we're still on a damp track. If these guys are on slicks, expect mistakes, as we see there. As we've got a very wide looking Lamborghini driver. As Sween tries to send it down the inside the 3. Need to watch, of course, it is going to be a little bit more damp offline. So Sween has taken second on track now and is now in the very familiar position of looking at the big rear wing of Dan Clegg. The gap is 6.1 seconds, and this is now a race to the finish. And we see a car getting out of the way into the pit lane, so there's now a big gap as well between these two, so they'll now get to drive at their full pace. Jarnigan still got a 2.7 gap to the Lamborghini off Hockley. Really has been a great drive there. I need to call this out. Jarnigan, Hockley, Dalton, Watson and Demi all mixing it within the pro drivers. Of course the weather will have helped, but the weather is the same for all of them. They all have to deal with the elements that are thrown at them this evening. So I think it's only fair they are credited when credit is due. Congratulations so far. We won't give them the commentator's curse just yet. They do have just over half an hour of this grueling test to go, and the track does not seem to be drying up all that well. As Paul Alex finally makes the move on Demi and gets through. .7 is the gap at the front of the track, at the lead. What action we've had this evening. If you want to get yourself in on this action, all you need is a copy of Assetto Corsa Competizione for the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series S or X. Jump onto thesimgrid.com and follow Race Club UK for all the sign up details and all the information how to take part. We are of course here every week, every Tuesday evening from 8:15 on Race Club UK's YouTube channel, the only place where you can catch Ted Trax Tuesdays live with commentary. You can of course watch the action back on demand as well. Just remember to like and subscribe to Race Club UK and turn notifications on to be made aware when we go live. Quick rundown then of the situation we have on track. Clegg leads, Sween second, Jarnigan is third on track, leading the silver class. Great performance from the Lexus driver. Ben Godden is running in P4 with getting the strategy call absolutely spot on, jumping up a couple of positions. Rampensburg has been off track. He's running well earlier on as well. He's running in 5th. Dalton again getting the strategy spot on, running 6th on track, 2nd in his class. Jack Kraft, the leading Trax racing car, is 7th. Watson rounds out the final podium spot for the silver class in P8. Hall is in 9th. Paul Alex 10th. Piston Breakers running line astern, 9th and 10th. This is the leader of the AM class, having an amazing race. That's Demi running in P12. Simons just managed to edge their way past. Barros coming back through the field, started off very well, been in the wars a little bit this evening. The Pink Panther car there is coming round turn 6. Makes his way through the field, back up to P13. Herman's in P14. Gualtieri 2nd in class, 15th. Tom Hockley in the second Trax racing car is running 16th. Metzger 17th, only a couple of tenths behind. Just jump on with that. They've actually just got ahead. Metzger is now ahead. There he is there, P16. Tom Hacker started pole and now down in P18, a victim of the weather. Roland again was running very well and being attacked personally by the weather. Clark runs in 20th and is 3rd in class for the Ford Mustang. Hutchins in 21st. Lofstrand recovering from a massive smash in 22nd. Franciosi in 23rd. Adenau runs 24th for Cedric, his teammate, again running line astern, 25th. Ozzy PTs bring up the rear, the last of the runners. We did have 32 started this race. So this is the battle for the final podium position. Ben Godden's bearing down. And we can see the dry line there now beginning to appear actually. So that, if anyone's still on the wet tyre, that will be cutting them up. Godden now looking to be, he's got a net 3rd, but he's 4th on track. He wants to turn that, I think, into a net 3rd. He wants to have that 3rd place on merit. Double podium for the Bet GT3 Team Slap Sauber. It's a fantastic team name. Great pun. Very dirty looking car. He's been mowing some grass this evening with the dirt on the side of the BMW. The gap now out front, 11.4 seconds. Dan Clegg doing his very best Max Verstappen impression out in front. So it looks like Alex has just been taken by Hall. The Piston Breakers team having a good old fashioned ding dong between themselves. They've got Watson just ahead of them as well. You see the two of them both on track. And on board Paul Alex, number 11, Aston Martin. Upshift coming through the final corner just for a little bit of traction. You can see there the dry line on the racing line. Track now shown as greasy, a little bit greasy. So it's now officially a dry track. The dry tyres will be optimum until you go off the racing line, then you'll have a challenge on your hands. See, there's now almost a dry line through every corner and on every straight. The curves now, of course, just just able to hold a car pushing. So watching this tight battle, look how close it is. Almost pushing Watson. Watson's now on the dark part of the track. He's going to try and swing it around the outside. It's going to be wet out there. The BMW's going to have the traction. They push them onto the curb, but they're still side by side. Racing in this huge contact. That was a big, big shunt. And that's put Alex behind Simon. Simon up into the top 10 now. So Simon and Sween, the golden Miura cars, absolutely flying. They were down there, I think, in the bottom. They weren't even in the top 15 on the grid. Car number 78 is shown as being off track. That's Gualtieri. That has put Clark through into P2. Maybe they had a little bit of a bump potentially. But that's put Gualtieri down into third in class for AM, and Clark up into second. Roland's separating the AM class podium. This is the battle for third then. This is Godin. He's still on the back of that Lexus. Two big, chunky, powerful cars. Car number 99's had a spin at the final corner. That's Hutchings. He's lost a couple of positions there, it looks like. Gordon's really applying the pressure. This is into the second last corner. He pulls out alongside. He shows his nose just into the mirrors of the Lexus driver, just to let him know he is there. Runs a little bit wide in doing so. Looks like a pretty good exit from the BMW driver. We're on board now. That Lexus is carrying a little bit of damage. We can see the top end speed there off the Lexus, but the downside is you get pretty sideways. Gordon goes alongside, almost pushed off the track. They come there into turn 2. Gordon thinks better off it. The Lexus has went deep and ran a little wide, but straightened the car out. That will maximise their exit speed and keep this battle going for at least another couple of corners. Look a little bit further back. This is Hall and Alex again. The piston breakers still fighting, and that's the Ferrari. The Aston Martin's ran wide on the exit of 2. That's kept the position just now. Gordon's still in the same position behind Jarnigan. Okay, this is the battle for the final podium position. Lexus goes oh, it's a huge smash. The Lexus potentially very slow. He cuts across the track. What's he doing? He's done it again. Cuts across the track twice with no regard for those around him. Looks like he was trying to get into the pits. Of course, Gordon not aware of that. Smashes right into the back of the Lexus, and that's the Lexus driving it all the way down the track. Won't be too thrilled with that one. Rampensberger's joined in the pits again as well. Have they been off track? Anyway, big battle going on here. That Simon now thinks about it down the inside of turn 2 on Kraft and has made the move stick. Simon now up into P6 on the back of Watson as well. Got a yellow Ferrari, I think that's Roland's just in front of us. That is a lap car, that's not for position. They'll need to move out of the way in due course. This is a battle for position. 20 minutes remaining here at the Red Bull Ring. And that Trax racing car got very wide on the exit. That'll open the door potentially for Alex. Yeah, you can see Alex there pushing hard. He's on the back of the Lamborghini. We look backwards there, we see the Aston Martin closing the gap. Just up ahead as well, Simon is... Oh, what happened there? That Ferrari went straight on. As did Alex. What on earth are they two playing at? Forgot to brake, possibly? I've got bad news. It looks like Dalton running in P4, leading the class in silver, has just been disconnected from the server. Absolute heartbreak for the man from down under. He'll be devastated with that outcome. You watch Simon use every inch of the track and more, trying to get this fourth on track and maybe even apply some pressure to Ben Godden ahead. Gap at front still 14.5 seconds. And the gap behind 12 seconds. So 1, 2 and 3 involved in their own little cat and mouse game. 4th and 5th on track is not in the same championship, but they are still racing for position, as looks like Watson almost trying to cool his tyre down, searching for some wet track. He can't still be out there on wet tyres. Surely not. Ravensburger's coming back through the field now with the extra pit stop being done. It will be very, very racy in the dying embers of this race as he looks to pull up onto the back of Clark. McLaren pulling in that Mustang, almost like throwing a tow rope round his rear wing and just pulling himself in inch by inch. Look at the back end of the Ford Mustang screaming under the right foot of Clark as he applies the throttle, sparks flying from the back of that car. Might not be the quickest car, but it does look good as it goes sideways into the wall coming out of turn 6. Oh dear. And Clark was running second. Is that going to put that at risk? He's got a couple of corners gap to Gualtieri. We'll see how that one works out. Simon still tucked up behind. As Raffensberger goes through. Next at the road for him is Rollins. A couple of seconds just up the road. This is the on-board from Simon in the Porsche. He's a lot closer this time, isn't he? Watson goes defensive. Simon tries to hang it round the outside of turn 3. It's not common you see moves done there. Space has been given. They still try to go side by side into turn 4. And they're still side by side. He's on the curb. He's stopped it from understeering wide, and we've seen many incidents into turn 5 this evening. And luckily they've seen sense and elect not to fight each other side by side through there. Got a slow moving car number 36 just ahead. That is one of the Hondas still out there. They'll need to move out of the way of this battle coming through. He's not able to do so on time. They've caught him at a very unfortunate position. That might actually have helped the BMW driver. The Porsche is really struggling to find that straight line speed difference. It's so much faster in the corners, but just on the straights where the move has to happen, BMW is just so much quicker. Does feel the need to go a little bit defensive into turn 2, and that's compromised the exit. That might have been a mistake by Watson defending the fresh air. Again, the straight line speed, but now they're a lot closer, and that's allowed Simon, and he's taken that line all race. He knows how much grip is out there, and that's Simon now up into 4th on track, completed the move. A little bit further behind, the Piston Breakers team are still battling hard. The Ferrari of Hall, the Aston Martin of Alex goes round the outside and through into the second last corner ahead up into P6. That one's been coming for quite a while now, and the move has been completed. Not over yet, actually, because the Ferrari is now using the toe to battle back. We've got a lap vehicle just in front there. We need to be cautious as we approach this one. They need to use the car as a toe, a slipstream to get up the hill, and it moves out of the way now. Hall's not even able to take advantage of the back marker being there, at least on this occasion, and that's allowed Alex to pull out a little bit of breathing room. Watson's got back in front of Simon. He missed that one. Watson's now back in front of Simon. Going to have to do it all over again. Can he though? That is the question. Can he do it? Lofstrand's on the back of Gualtieri. Can he maybe maximise his exit speed? 11 minutes left to go. The track is now fully dry, so anyone now on wets will be struggling if they're still out there on them. Don't suspect anyone will be. I'll be shocked if they are. Here we are again. Can the Porsche driver, can the Golden Euro car get 4th on track as well as 4th in class? The BMW defends so well. He's got the slipstream, it's just not enough, is it? It's not enough. Pulls it to the inside. Again, the BMW not defending this time, but gets the car straightened up. That might help their exit speed, but that's not. They're side by side coming down into turn 3. The BMW just edges out in front, but the Porsche is able to brake so much later, but he's went too deep, and that's opened the door. Great racing. The BMW of Watson's back in front again. Simon must be thinking, what has he got to do to make this move work? And not only that, but he has now got to watch his mirrors, because Alex has entered the chat. This is the view on board the Aston Martin driver. We've got a drive-through penalty for Mark Cedric. A 30-second stop-go penalty being applied for the Honda driver. The Simon's ran wide, that's allowed the movement. Simon spun! He's at the wall! Simon's lost a couple of positions. He's now down there in P7. He's pushing and battling so hard And the curb just did not like being used that much and kicked him out to the side of the wall. Big shout out actually for Barros. Barros has managed to get himself up into 8th again after, I think, pitting twice and having that off. That's been good to see. That's good driving. Flashing his light as a thank you to the Aston Martin for moving out of the way. A lapped car, of course. So that's Carl Sween. He's stuck behind Metzger just now. I think he's going to move it out of the way very shortly. So Clegg still leads. He's on his 52nd lap. Well, these two need to be careful with Metzger. He has been lapped, so he gets out of the way now. That has been done relatively cleanly. Of action developing here then. Lofstrand on the back of Gualtieri. Gualtieri still third in class. Lofstrand looking to make his way through, come back through the field again, and another little touch. Just a little bit clumsy from the BMW, needs to tighten the screws as the Lamborghini behind gets a little bit out of shape on the exit of turn 1. That was Hockley, the 29 Lamborghini. This is not for position, this is car up ahead. Need to be very careful. Oh, he's went deep, he's off track. Need to be careful in the rejoin. He almost rejoins in front of Metzger. That's not Metzger, that's the leader. That nearly took out the leader on his rejoin. And of course, need to be so careful when you're lapping a car and you come back across onto the racing line like that. The track has now completely dried up. We are in full running dry conditions. For the end of the race, the final 6 minutes of this race will be run completely dry. We went from dry to full wet, back to dry, so we've had a full cycle of the weather. It did take a long time to dry up. But up front, Dan Clegg has led for most of the race. There was a period where it looked like it might not work out for him, but the length of the time the track took to dry up, and there's contact there. That is the Flying Eagles car pushing its way through past Tom Hockley. He gives the position back after realising his error and flashes his lights to apologise. Paul Alex now on the back of Watson. The track now dry, so we expect to see some track limits being given here, some track limit penalties. Paul Alex closing down on the back of Watson in the BMW. And we've seen Watson defend furiously from Simon earlier on. But the Aston Martin is a lot faster in a straight line compared to the Porsche. We'll see if the Aston is able to use that difference. He's alongside into turn 2. So get the car straightened up and get a better exit. He's going to have the traction. This is the onboard. We've seen a lot off the back of that BMW today. He goes defensive. Alex takes the racing line. He's going to maybe think about the old switcheroo. He does get a good exit, and that's going to put the BMW on the inside for the sweeping curve, and that usually means you've retained that position. You're able to just control the corner a lot more. The Aston uses the curb to kind of hook itself round. Look, you can see the Aston's all over the curb, trying everything he can to get past, to get himself that 4th place. He is of course 4th in Pro class just now, but nobody wants to just take a position by default. He wants this position on track as well. He's over the curb. Look at him, he's really doing everything he can to maximise that exit speed up the hill. The BMW, of course, so fast in that straight line. We're on board again. He's closing, he's almost alongside. He pulls into the inside line. He's went deep. He's not able to keep the move done on the track. Now, he has given the position back technically, but has he gained a lasting advantage by running wide there? That can be debated. And they come close to touching again. The BMW is on the outside and he's got the inside, but the exit speed of the Aston, oh, a light touch, nothing too much, but that, I think. Now, we thought Simon had got the move done, and Watson snuck back in front, so we're going to just stick with this one for another couple of corners. And you can see Watson holding on to the back and almost pushing the Aston through the final corner. I think he did push the Aston through the final corner actually. And now we're going to see the straight line speed of the BMW. Look at it charge down to the inside of turn 1. Thinks better off it on this occasion, but look at that, he's run wide again as Alex. Now that is interesting. That is interesting. Will the stewards see fit to punish that? Now we've got 1 minute 17 seconds left. Clegg crossed the line, and Italian Jeff tells us we're now on the final lap. Lofstrand's got himself in front of Gualtieri, but he's not let it go, has he? Gualtieri is still pushing, but it's been started in the dry. Dan Clegg did what he needed to do on the first lap. He got himself up into P1. Make no mistake about it, he wants this championship. He pitted for the wet tyres when the heavens opened. He stuck it out on them as the track took a long time to dry up. It eventually did dry up and he pitted again for the dry tyres, and the rest of the field followed as their fuel ran down. Somebody's ran wide there on the final corner. That's Rowlands, he's in the wall, potentially losing a couple of more positions, but Clegg has kept it on in between the white lines for most of the race. Had a little spin but recovered very nicely. He's come around the final corner now, and Clegg is going to come across the line and take the checkered flag and win round 3 here at the Red Bull Ring. Race Club UK TED Trax Tuesdays. Carl Sween, valiant effort from 17th on the grid. Will come round the final corner now, and he's going to take second. Fantastic effort from the American as he takes the checkered flag now. And Ben Godden got the strategy right today, pitted at exactly the correct times, and he's going to be rewarded for his efforts with a fantastic third place finish. Paul Alex has managed to keep the position and got the move done on Watson, and he's going to come across the line fourth in class. A good performance from the Aston driver as he gets a little out of shape on the final corner. Watson comes across the line as well, wins for silver tier. Great driving from Watson. Hall comes across the line in 6th place. Barros is going to take 7th. Again, fantastic performance from Barros. And Simon, unfortunately, a little bit of a spin, could have been more, but will take P8. Rampensberger is going to cross the line next with Adenal. And that is everyone now across the line, and we can give you the provisional results of the race. So, in AM class, Demi has taken the win with Clark in 2nd, Gualtieri taking the final podium spot, Frankie Hosey in 4th, Cedric 5th, Patiz 6th, and Cook did not finish. In the silver class, Watson has managed to take the win. Great drive today from Watson. Herman in 2nd, Hockley will take 3rd place in the Trax racing car. Metzger is 4th, Rowlands 5th, even after hitting the wall on the final lap. Jarnigan in P6 in the Lexus. Lofstrand is 7th, Hutchins 8th, Adenal 9th, Dalton did not finish, disconnected towards the end. Van Linter 11th, and Margitis did not finish. Overall then, Dan Clegg takes the race win, fastest lap. Didn't get the full house today, did not get pole position, but might as well have. Finishes 22 seconds ahead of Carl Sween. Ben Godden took P3, Alex 4th, Watson 5th, Hall 6th, Barros 7th, Simon 8th, Kraft 9th, and Herman rounds out the top 10. Hockley was 11th at the end there, Metzger 12th, Demi 13th, Rampensberger 14th, Clark just behind there, P15. Rowlands takes 16th, Jarnigan 17th, Lofstrand 18th, Gualtieri 19th, and Hutchins in 20th. Franciosi in 21st, Adenal 22nd, Cedric 23rd, Patiz 24th. And then those who did not finish, Dalton, Hacker, Bird, we've seen disconnected a couple of times as well. Cook, Van Linter, Hermsen, Evans, and Margitis. What a race we've had tonight. It really has been a battle of the elements, but Dan Clegg came out again in P1 with Carl Sween tucked in behind in P2. Godin finally got himself on the podium this season in P3. If you've enjoyed this tonight, do also remember to tune in next week, 8:15, same time on Tuesday. We will be live again, but this time we will be at Watkins Glen. We travel over the pond to New York State, one of my favourite tracks, Watkins Glen. We get to ride the roller coaster up through turns 2, 3 and 4. The bus stop, always an exciting corner, and of course the undulations round the heel and toe sections of that track. One of the classics. I look forward to it. I hope you guys look forward to it then. My name is Gogs Brown. I'll be with you in the commentary position next time out. Do not miss it. Until then, take care. Good night.